welcome to this week's episode of For the Plot. I'm Jessica, I'm 18, and I'm from Crossmaglen.
I'm Samantha, I'm 17 and I'm from Crossmaglen.
I'm Kate, I'm 17, I'm from Clevie.
I'm Annabelle, I'm 17 and I'm from Clevie.
Our guest this week is Lauren O'Malley. Lauren, could you introduce yourself for us?
Hello.
Insert clapping.
So, where are you from?
I am from Boston, in Massachusetts, in the US.
And where are you currently living?
I am currently living in Bessbrook, Camla, right on the edge, by St. Paul's High School.
So, how old were you when you moved to Ireland?
So the first time I moved to Ireland, I was 19.
That's
and
young.
I moved to study in Cork. And then I stayed a year while studying at University College Cork. And then I returned to the United States before moving back a few years later.
Okay.
Story.
So you were just in Ireland for the 1 year?
So the first time I lived here and I was living in Cork, I just came for the 1 year.
Yeah.
And I did a degree course in Cork as part of my degree that I was doing in the United States. And then when that year came to an end, I sort of knew that I wanted to come back. So I actually decided several years later to apply for a master's degree program in Belfast.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I actually didn't know that.
I didn't.
Neither did I didn't know that story. So, whenever you moved back for your master's, how come you went to Belfast instead of Cork?
So Queen's University, which is the university that I did my master's degree in, had a really highly reputable program in criminology.
Okay.
And I thought it would offer an opportunity to do something different. I love to travel and I love to live new places. So I felt like Cork was an amazing experience, but I wanted to give Belfast a try. And actually, obviously, it ended up working out quite well because here I am.
Yeah, here
So
you are
here
today.
Many years later.
Broadening your horizons, I guess.
Every day.
In Camla Best.
So,
Balls right on the strip.
so, what's your favorite thing about South Armagh?
I have to say, definitely, it's the outdoors. It's amazing here. It's so beautiful, and I do a lot of sports, so I spend a lot of time outside. So from the mountains to the lakes, the rivers, the towpaths, just being outside here is definitely my favorite thing. And basically every single day you could find me in one of these places, either Camla Mountain or on Slieve Gullion or in Camla Lake, or I used to swim in the canal in Newry. I know that's a bit strange, but it's a true story. Yeah, true story.
Was
in
that
the canal
the
in
best
Newry,
idea?
Carlingford Lock, all kinds of places. Warren Point,
I
West
actually
River.
can't move past that. I'm sorry.
What? If you want. Yeah, true story. They used to have races in the canal.
My dad used to do that.
Being in a kayak with you
You-
in the canal.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah, they had swimming races, and like on my lunch break, I used to go to the canal, and people thought I was legitimately insane. But
What a lunch break.
I
going
know.
to the canal.
I know. I did. I used to get in right in front of the Keys shopping centre. It led to some very embarrassing moments, but whatever. I love it.
Can you get in a wee bit more about your sporting lifestyle?
Yeah, so I have a very sporty lifestyle, and that's why I'm glad we went with cash for tonight, because that's my usual. So I do running, swimming, hiking, not biking really, actually, but I can bike, but not really. And ski and skate and you name it.
She's done it.
Yeah, exactly.
She's done it.
Always been involved in sports.
What's your
So,
favorite?
do you know, my favorite has changed and continues to change to coincide with injuries. So
Of course.
when
Move on
I'm
to the
not
next.
injured, I love to run, but I'm always injured, so I can't really run anymore. At the minute, I'm big into hiking, and I'm doing huge distances at the minute, like just hill walking and stuff. But I'm also a long distance swimmer, so sometimes I could be out swimming for hours and hours or getting ready for competitions and stuff. And yeah, and I like other kind of strange things like rollerblading, although my kids have forbidden me from doing that here. I'm not allowed to be seen in
That
public
stays
on
in America.
rollerblades. Too American for South Armagh. But yeah, skiing, ice skating, you name it. Yeah.
Wow. A woman of all talents, you may say. So, diving in a wee bit more.
Okay.
What was
Pun
the-
intended.
Yeah. I like that.
actually wasn't. What was your biggest culture shock whenever you moved to South Armagh?
Oh, 1,000,000% the food. because I grew up in Boston, and you guys are very lucky because you're young, which means that in the years that you've been on this planet, Newry and South Armagh has improved in terms of food options. But when I moved here in 2003, I was devastated. There was like no Greek food, no Thai food, no Lebanese food, no nothing of cultural significance, and it's definitely improved tons in your lifetimes. So that's good news for me. Like growing up in Boston, our neighbors were Greek. There were restaurants, as I say, like you could go out and just get Indian or Lebanese, and then when I moved here, there was nothing like that, like literally nothing. And I'm a vegetarian, which was considered the weirdest thing ever when I moved here. And in fact, some Irish people still struggle to adapt with that. But
Yeah, I can see that.
We're going to get there.
yeah.
Okay.
Eventually, I don't know.
I used to just get like a plate of vegetables if we went out for dinner, and now things have improved.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
well,
have veggie options.
at least there's that. So I suppose not really even in your time here in South Armagh, but what was the biggest challenge you faced?
In life.
So in life, oh God, yeah, there's been a lot of challenges. Raising children is a big challenge, and especially since you girls know my children.
Oh, we know.
Anyways, I'm gonna say, is that an accomplishment or a challenge? I don't know, but I think moving and living in like different places around the world has been an amazing challenge. I haven't just lived here. I've lived in Thailand, and I've lived around the United States. I've moved a lot, and I've done it by myself. So making new friends and like having new experiences and getting to know a new place. But I've also had a lot of physical challenges. So I have had kind of 2 significant injuries / accidents, and they both have equally probably shaped or changed my mobility and the things that I could do. The first being when I was 19, I got hit by a drunk driver. So I was walking home in university. Yeah.
University in Ireland or
In America.
okay.
So before I moved to Ireland,
Yeah.
before I moved to Cork, I was studying in a university called the University of Massachusetts, and I got hit by a drunk driver when I was walking home one night. And I broke both my legs from the hips down, basically, kneecaps, tibias, fibulas, you name it, and my face hit the windscreen, and I broke my orbital bone, which is the bone that holds your eye in place. And sorry, this is a bit grim, but I actually opened my forehead like clean across and right down to the skull, and then I landed on the back of my head and broke my skull from behind.
It just keeps on
So-
going.
No,
Yeah, why did none of us know
Disaster.
that?
How did you get
I've
so
known
like
you this long.
into sports then after having so much injuries?
Yeah, so I was always into sports before that happened, and had always been involved with like swimming and running and rollerblading, as Marty says, forbidden from doing, skiing, ice skating, you name it. Grew up really athletic, and then I had just gone away to university when that accident happened, and then for a long time afterwards, I couldn't do anything. My broken legs were definitely the most impactful. The way that my right kneecap broke, my leg had to go into this machine called a CPM. So it's like consistent passive motion, where your leg is just like really gradually straightened and then bent so that my joint wouldn't like seize, so that I'd be able to bend my knee again. And I had to have metal rods put through my left leg, where I had a rod that went from my knee right down to my ankle with screws to hold it in place. And then additionally, I've had to have like pins put into my feet and all kinds of other problems from that original accident. So yeah, I think definitely that impacted my mobility at the time, and I didn't think I would ever be able to get back into sports. And it was really upsetting to me because I didn't realize how much I liked sports until I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So after the accident and having a bit of time in a wheelchair and not being able to walk at all, and then getting up on crutches and having these horrible, huge braces. I had like one of those big external knee brace things, and couldn't bend, couldn't do very much, and really struggled to walk on my left leg with the new rod. I just decided at that point that I was going to make like a really conscious effort to get back into sports, and it took years, but I gradually obviously was able to do it.
You got there.
Oh, worth
I
it.
got there.
You're still kicking.
Yeah, I am. Sometimes. So that obviously has been a really big challenge. The other thing that was a big challenge was only 12 years ago. So that accident happened a very long time ago, like 28 years ago. But then 12 years ago, I had a climbing injury that actually could have killed me. I basically overextended a muscle in the front of my chest. It crushed one of the main veins that goes to your heart. And it caused a massive blood clot in my chest. And by the time they figured out what was happening, they had to put a small hole under my arm and a tube through the vein to try and open it. And they realized then that the vein that went to my heart was ruined. So the only way to fix it was to cut my top rib out, to remove the front muscle from my chest, and to graft out of my groin artery a vein to put into my chest. And when they were doing it, they used a thing called a bone cutter, and it wouldn't cut through the rib. So they used a small saw, and the saw broke a piece of my rib off, which went right through my lung. So by the time I woke up from the surgery, I had a graft. I had a huge cut out of my leg, a big graft out of my leg, and then I was missing my top rib, my front muscle, and had a hole in my lung.
So the rib was just like gone.
Just when I
totally
thought
gone.
I knew you the whole
Yeah,
way.
totally
There's
gone.
more.
There's a lot of scars.
You've been telling back,
A
Lauren.
lot of scars.
God.
Yeah. Yes. Now it's funny. Not so much then. Yeah.
Everybody behind the camera looks so scared.
Okay, so obviously we've talked about your biggest challenges, but what's your biggest accomplishment?
So being a mother is a big accomplishment, and getting boys through GCSEs and A levels and all those things. But sports, I have had a lot of accomplishments in sports. I guess for me, probably one of the biggest things would be being the first person ever to swim from Newry all the way out to the Helly Hunter marker buoy. So it's the full length of Carlingford Loch. So no one had ever done it. And in COVID, I got offered the opportunity to be the first person ever. And it was amazing, but really difficult. It took 5 hours, 58 minutes and 18 seconds, I believe. And the deal with it is you can't stop. So once you start, you're just in a regular bathing suit, one swim cap, no wetsuit, no support. You have a boat next to you, and you just basically swim nonstop until you get there. So every 30 minutes or so, they throw you a water bottle on a line. You can't touch the boat. If you touch the boat, it's over. So it was a really difficult challenge, but I loved it. And that kind of paved the way for me to do some other really big swims. And I guess the other big accomplishment to say would be that 9 years ago, actually, just in April, I did the Marathon des Sables, which is listed as the hardest foot race on the planet. It's 6 marathons that you run in 5 days across the Sahara Desert, and you do it unsupported. So basically, the only thing that they give you is water, and everything you need for the race, you have to run with on your own back. So that's all your food. That's a knife in case you're stuck in the desert and need a knife. It's a compass, a map, it's sunblock, it's everything you need for the race, including a sleeping bag, has to be on your back while you run the 6 marathons. And I'm not great at math, but 6 marathons in 5 days means that at least one of the days you have to run 2 back-to-back marathons. So for me, in the year that I did it, it was day 4. And that meant I had already run 3 marathons. On the 4th day, I had to run 2 marathons back-to-back.
This
Carrying
woman,
everything.
ladies and gents, I don't know.
What motivates you to want to do all of this?
I do think most of my friends, probably including your mothers, thought
I'm gonna take
that
them.
I had lost my mind when I said I was going to do that. But I know this sounds really weird, but this is God's honest truth, is I know I'm capable, and I know that all of us are capable of doing amazing things. And I think for me, it's just knowing that means that even when something seems like obscenely difficult or totally out of reach, I just know that if you break it down into smaller bits and you put in the effort and you train, that anything is possible. And I think because I really genuinely believe that, these things have been possible, but do not mistake that belief for naivety. There's a lot of hard work goes into it. So you can't rock up and run the Marathon des Sables.
Yeah.
You got to train.
How long were you training for that?
So I had got back into running after the second accident. And so that being the rib removal, graft, everything.
whole shebang.
The whole
Everything.
shebang. And
Factory reset.
yeah, that literally. And for me, I decided about a year after that I was going to get back on track and I was just going to do this race. And at that point, people were like, now that's actually insane. But so I registered for the race and it gave me like about 9 months to train. So just 2 years after that big surgery, I was at the starting line in the Sahara Desert. So it took me a year to be able to get back to the point where I could even run. And then I had about 9 months where I could really train. So in about 9 months, I got from not ever having run a marathon to being able to run 6 in 5 days.
What doesn't
It
kill
was
you makes you
crazy.
stronger.
Yeah. My first ever marathon I did in training for the Marathon de Sable. Yeah. So I had never run a marathon. I had never run more than a 10K. My first 10K was the Fort Kill 10K. I had run 10Ks in Boston as a kid, but from the accident, I hadn't run a 10K. So my first 10K after the accident was the Fort Kill 10K. And then I went from the Fort Kill 10K to registering for the Marathon de Sable, and everybody thought I was
from
nuts.
4 kills like the Sahara.
Yeah, basically.
That's great.
Yeah.
Whoever counts how many 10Ks she just said there gets a fiver.
There's a lot of 10Ks. I will also say that in the insanity of the training, I set an alarm for 2 a.m. one night in February. I got up, put on a backpack, left Jonesboro, and ran through the night by myself through Killian and all the way down to Mayo Bridge, Hilltown, to Slieve Donard in Newcastle. And I ran through the dark, through the night with a head torch and a backpack full of stuff. And when I got there, I literally knew then I could definitely do the race. I ran 32 miles through the night by myself.
I can barely hack
because
your ride
can't
to
walk down
Newcastle.
that is a very good question, Annabelle, because one stage of the Marathon de Sable is through the night. So I knew I needed to be able to do it, and I knew I needed to be able to prove to myself that I wasn't afraid and I could do it by myself. Because when I entered the race, I didn't know anyone. So I was one of 200 women. There was 1,200 participants, and I didn't know anybody else in the race. So I knew that I had to go in it alone, and I had to be a bit selfish. Like, I had trained really hard. Even if I made friends, I knew I had to just run my own race. Yeah. So I figured by training by myself, I would get that confidence. So, yeah.
And see the way you said it was 32 miles to Slieve Donard, obviously from Jonesboro. Is that there and back, or just there?
So that's there, but I had to add to make it the 32. I had to add a little loop like through Killian. So in the middle of the night by myself, I'm like taking left turns and right turns and like going down like little tiny lanes. And then, yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my God.
And then I stuck to the main road, and people were on their way home from the nightclubs and the bars and stuff. And I was in a glow in the dark backpack with a head torch. And people were legitimately looking at me like, what is she doing?
Oh
For
my
a
God.
long period of time, I had a reputation around South Armagh as the crazy American runner because I ran everywhere in a backpack.
Can't see where they got that from.
It does add up, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Makes sense.
I can't see it. I don't know.
It makes sense.
Okay, so obviously you have accomplished so much, but what's something that you haven't but you want to accomplish?
So I love climbing as well, and I have probably done a couple 5,000 meter mountains at this point, but I would like to do a few more. I'm actually looking at Mount Kenya at the minute, or Mount Ararat. Both of them are just over 5,000 meters, and I think I'd like to do more of that. It's strangely challenging because it doesn't put as much pressure on my legs, which the running is doing a lot of damage these days for me. So the climbing I can manage better without getting injuries, and the challenge of it is spread out like over the space of a week, which I like. So endurance events kind of suit my personality. So I like being on a mountain and being challenged for day after day, and I like the scenery, and I like being outside. So I will say that just one other thing to add is that when my oldest son was 11, I did take him on a humongous climb. That was the highest mountain in Africa, to climb Kilimanjaro. And that was an amazing thing. And that really set me up for this like never ending love of the mountains, because just having that experience with him and being able to do it. And him and I have gone back to Africa since, and we did the highest in North Africa 2 years ago. So, well, not even 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And yeah, so I would love to get him to come to Kenya with me to do Mount Kenya, but we'll see. He's busy these days. And my younger son does not commit to the mountains the same way. He's
And
like,
he's not having
"Thank
it."
you."
You are.
Yeah, thank you, Mom.
Shout out.
Okay, so what's a big difference you've seen from your childhood in America in comparison to your children's childhood in South Armagh?
Growing up in Boston was just completely different. So I grew up in a place called Melrose. It's on the north side of the city of Boston. So it's just a few miles outside the city. And we were the last stop on the subway system. So like when I was a kid, like not a little kid, but young teenager, we could take the subway into the city. And there was a lot of cultural diversity, lots of people from different parts of the world, humongous shopping areas and restaurants, and just a whole different kind of experience. My high school was really different to school here because I think there's a lot more racial diversity. So that was a big thing. Like we grew up with people from all over the world, different nationalities, and different foods and cultures as a result. So I think, first of all, that was a big thing with my kids here. It was like, I couldn't believe how limited that was. I do think it's got better that way, that things have changed and there's more people coming and living here from different cultures. And that's definitely changed over the last like sort of 15 years. But I think here has given the kids to have this amazing, safe childhood that America doesn't seem to have anymore, especially big cities and like Boston and stuff. I think like we don't have school shooter drills. Yeah. That's a huge bonus.
That's a big thing.
There's a lot of stuff in America. Like we had school police, you know, there's like, they had like metal detectors and different things. And that to me just seems insane now. So I'm really glad our kids' lives are so different to that. And I think like it's been a safe, really easy upbringing. You don't worry about kids here the same way you would at home. Yeah. So, and there's not the same issue with guns. So that's a huge thing. Like that is such a big thing with American schools and kids and access to guns. It's crazy.
Imagine us like going to school scared that like there'd be a shooting that day.
And like there's actual school shooter drills, like fire drills and school shooter drills where you like practice barricading yourself in a classroom. And I just think like growing up like that isn't normal. We didn't have that when we were kids, but that then became a thing, so that if like people that I know that are raising kids, their kids go through have school shooter drills, which I think is crazy.
That is
so
crazy.
We are so fortunate.
We never had anything like that, but yeah. So for me, I think the kids have had a great life here, and like it's safe and it feels like a community, and I think it's a really nice way. So
the community is definitely a big part.
We have like a fire drill whenever the toast burns the canteen, and that's like the highlight of it.
You'd love it.
The highlight of it.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
She could be dangerous with it.
I am never living that down. No. Cut the camera.
Okay, so to like a certain degree, did you like have an understanding of like the Irish history over here before moving here?
I did. I definitely did before I moved to Belfast, because I studied the politics of conflict in UCC and actually had the like courses in Irish history and sociology and Irish culture. So that first year that I moved here when I was 19, I really didn't know that much about Ireland in terms of the history, but definitely when I moved back to do the master's degree, I had a really good understanding. In fact, probably better than some people that lived here their whole lives, because I actually studied it.
These two over here
had to notion.
So
probably did.
But yeah. I think like one of the things that's kind of funny now is like before I moved to Ireland the first time, you have this idea of Ireland, because they used to have advertisements on TV for Aer Lingus in Boston when I was a kid, and it showed horses like running down a beach and like little thatched cottages. And I remember like moving and getting off the plane in Cork and being like, that's not what it's supposed to look like. But obviously parts of it do look like
I
that.
want my money back.
How did you get into like the career position that you're in now?
So my degree is in criminology, and so I sort of went from that to the work that I do, which is supporting people who have been in prison to get into employment. But I also work for the Irish Football Association, delivering a program called Fair Game, and it's around ending violence against women and girls, and it's geared specifically at working with young males and looking at like misogyny and healthy relationships, and it's fantastic. And I also do work with the Irish Football Association around resilience in sport, so I deliver talks to football clubs and youth groups and all kinds of sporting people around how to kind of get back up after you've been knocked down, because in my case I have the physical side of that, but also the emotional side. So yeah, so it's been amazing, and that's the work that I do, and I really enjoy it. So
For you.
okay, Kate, if you say so.
So do you think that you find like an accent barrier in your daily life compared to like compared to now than what it was whenever you first moved here?
No, well, when I first moved to Cork, I couldn't understand what anyone said.
Oh, Cork for
Cork
sure.
accent is crazy, but you know, I've definitely got better with that. And yeah, I mean, I have Irish words, but I still have American words. But my friends at work have like they have a little dictionary that they've made of the difference between Irish words and American words. So like sidewalk, trash can, eggplant.
You also said sunblock.
Sunblock. Yeah. There's
I was really
things.
about to ask what that was, and I was like, yeah.
Oh.
Never mind. I know what that is.
Okay.
Moving on. Whenever you first moved here, did you feel like, as you were saying, like, you know, that there's not many, like, whenever you first moved here, there wasn't that many, like, cultures about?
Yeah.
Like, in Ireland. Did you think you had any discrimination because you weren't Irish?
No, I think the Irish love an old Yank, which is a good thing. Although I do have to say that that has probably changed in the last few years, as in not for me in terms of discrimination, but obviously given our new world leader, I think people are a little bit more questioning of Americans, like, how did this happen? How have we ended up where we are? So yeah, I think when I first moved here, definitely Irish people seem to love an American.
We love you, Lauren.
Yeah, thanks.
We love our Lauren.
But I do definitely think that things are changing that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Donald.
Oh, sorry. If you could do one thing again, what would it be?
So I think that it sounds insane because the carnage that was my body afterwards. But I think if I could do one thing again, I would do the Marathon de Sable again. And
Oh my God.
I
Pay
think
money to do that.
I know. I
that
think
is
the reason
insanity, Lauren.
it is insanity. I think the reason is because of all the things I've ever done in my life, it gave me the greatest clarity. So, like, if you ever doubt yourself in any capacity, you do something like that, you really gain this incredible sense of, like, self-worth and confidence. And I think for me, like, in the years since, I've had all kinds of challenges in life with work and kids and just relationships, everything. But the clarity and the strength that I got from doing that event is something I wish I could put in a bottle and drink from every day. And I also think, like, the friendships that you make and the experience that you have is amazing. Like, when you push your body and your mind to a limit like that, you see things in a different light. So literally, like, just to put it very simply, like, laying out at night under the stars in the middle of the Sahara Desert and being out there knowing that, like, the only way you're getting to the finish line is on your own 2 feet. Like, there's nothing more incredible than that experience. Like, it really now, like, it is not for everyone. And I know my body couldn't probably ever do it again. I would probably be too broken at this point. But if I could somehow make that happen, I do think I understand why people do it more than once. At first I said never, 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 like, never would I do that again. 'Cause, like, my feet were, oh my God, there was no sandals for like 2 years. I left most of my toenails in the Sahara Desert that summer. But, like, once you recover from it, you start to think about it differently, and then it just impacts you. So I think, yeah, I would do that again. Yeah.
You have such a way with your words.
Yeah, A levels don't seem so bad now.
Maybe I will just study.
Yeah, just study. Just study. Yeah.
It's me? Okay. Okay. What is one thing you would want listeners to take away from today?
Definitely the resilience. So life doesn't go your way. And, like, we talk about successes. We haven't talked a lot about failures. I could do 10 podcasts on failures. I fail all the time. In fact, I probably failed about 3 things today alone. I think you got to learn how to fail. And that's the only way you're ever going to succeed. And, like, if you expect life to be easy, then you're never going to make it anywhere. Like, life is a constant series of setbacks. And I sometimes think, like, what you set in your mind is what an achievement is and what it's going to look like. You have to be willing to accept it might not come out the way that you want it to, but that doesn't mean it's not a success in itself. And, like, if you're able to adapt and to not take yourself too seriously and be willing to fail, then that's when the amazing things start to happen. And, like, definitely for me, people always talk about, you know, God, look at the things that you've done, but what they haven't seen is all the things that have gone wrong in the run up to it and all the work that goes into that. And just all the ways that you have to learn to get back up in life. So, yeah, like, I'm not a success story in so many ways, but in other ways I am. And that's just,
you think you're
it's all about the angle.
Thanks.
Get our good side.
success story.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I guess it depends
right
on how you rate success too, you know, because for some people it's different. You know, some people are really successful in their career and that's important to them. Maybe some people are motivated by money. Like, that's not my thing. So
That's me.
Yeah.
Money.
That's okay. As long as you know it. Yeah, and
I
you
know
work
it.
towards it.
I
but
own it.
Yeah. I'm always going to be broke.
Oh.
I'm okay with that.
It's fine. You climb mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know,
Hello.
you need a
It's
bit
free
of
to
my-
climb mountains, so you're fine.
Yeah. Sometimes.
The outdoors is
As long as they're in
no
Ireland.
Yeah.
The flights aren't that cheap.
Yeah.
Playing Africa all the time.
Sahara.
Yeah.
Okay, and is it difficult for you to find a balance in your everyday life?
Sometimes it is with the training. So I obviously work every day, and then I have the kids and their needs. So like taking them to events and sports and making them study and doing the things that parents do, like cook dinner and do laundry
boys.
and
Come on.
study boys.
You
But
wish.
yeah, and then fitting in training. But I think over the years I've kind of perfected it a little bit, and I squeeze training in wherever possible. So yeah, I feel like I have a good balance going on right now, but it hasn't always been that easy.
Amazing. You can really do it all. Okay, what's the most rewarding thing about your job?
It's definitely being able to help the way people look at the world, I think, like help shape the way that they look at it. So like I work with people who maybe have never had a good level of motivation and maybe have never had a lot of support, and I just try to give them a different perspective. And I think sometimes because I've like walked the walk, I'm able to say to them, look, like these are opportunities that you can make for yourself and help them see a way to make things different for themselves. And that's been probably the most rewarding thing. But I also think with the work now with the IFA and going in and working with young males and looking at like the ending violence against women and girls, that's a huge important piece of work, and I really enjoy it because it's like really challenging ideas and stereotypes that all of us have that are just ingrained and we don't even notice, and then making them think a little bit outside the box about like what women are capable of achieving and like what really gender balance looks like. So yeah,
I couldn't think of a better person for the job.
thanks.
And our final question is, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Oh, well, I think I would tell my 16-year-old self to look after your legs.
Don't go on a walk.
Don't walk at night in Boston.
In 3 years' time, they are not going to look the same. When you're 19, they're going to change. But no, I think, yeah, look after your fitness, look after your health, but also like that everything is temporary. So the good times are temporary and so are the bad. And like when things feel really difficult or even when things feel great, you just have to recognize that nothing is permanent. And I think that's important too, because when things aren't going good, it means you can see that there's brighter days ahead. And when things are going great, you kind of appreciate it a little bit more because you know that that feeling doesn't last forever either. So yeah, so I think that would probably be it. And like keeping that kind of positive outlook that, you know, everything changes.
Amazing.
So yeah, how do you uphold your positive outlook all the time? Sorry.
Well, I don't. And that's the main thing to note. Like, I mean, if you met me when I was 19 and had just been hit by the car, I was probably quite miserable to be around. And like, no one probably would have said I was positive at that point. But I think like over the years, I've definitely realized that, like, as I said, the good times are great when they are there, but they can be fleeting. And then the next thing you know, you have this challenge and you have to face it and you just have to figure out a way to get on with it. And I think being positive makes a difference. I genuinely believe that like we're all capable of doing amazing things. And I've met so many incredible people through my work and also through the sports. And I think that has really inspired me because I know these people who have setbacks that other people can't even begin to understand. They've maybe had an amputation or they've been sick or they've really struggled in life, and yet they can still like achieve these amazing things. So that helps me to stay positive. So even in the gym today, I was thinking about a very close friend who's really sick at the minute, and she would never give up. And I kept thinking, you know what, if she could, she would do anything to be in my position today. So just keep that thought in my mind and keep moving forward. So
Good motivation.
good motivation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
You're very
being our
welcome.
guest.
Very welcome.
Thank you for watching, all of our viewers.
And thank you for having me. Yeah.
So welcome. Anytime.
Our pleasure.
Please come back.
I'm sure you have plenty more stories.
I was going to say, yeah, exactly.